Good morning, my dear students. So, how are you all? Today, I'll be starting with second chapter of your civics, that is institutional representation of democracy. Okay, so let us move ahead. So, student, what is institutional representation of democracy? Okay, it includes universal identity franchise, elections, political parties, and coalition government. So let us understand it one by one, okay? So our first topic is universal adult franchise. Student, what is franchise? Franchise is the right to vote granted to every citizen by the government. Okay? The right to vote and elect one representative is the basic feature of democracy. Okay? Most modern democracies now practice universal adult franchise, which means that all adults have the right to vote irrespective of their race, sex, religion, economic or social status. In India, Constitution ensures that anyone who has attained the age of 18 has the right to vote. Okay? That means anyone who is 18 years old have the right to vote, okay? And there should be no discrimination in voting. That means that nobody will be discriminated on the basis of race, sex, religion, economic or social status, okay? Student, please understand that in the earlier democracies, only male landowners who were protesting by faith could vote. This is the example of UK. Okay, it was thought that only the landowners were responsible enough to be involved in running the country. By 19th century, things gradually improved and people in several democracies fought for the right to vote for all males irrespective of their social standing, religion and race. By the late 19th, 20th century, some states and countries allowed women to vote. So there was a large scale battle. Okay? In several countries, people continue to be denied the right to vote on the basis of color and race. Example, in South Africa, non-whites, that means black people, were not allowed to vote. Okay? Same case in the United States of America, the non-whites or blacks got the right to vote only in 20th century, even after a long period of struggle. Okay? So our next topic is elections. So student, what are elections? Elections are the process by which citizens of a country select or choose their representative. Okay? For a democracy to be successful, elections have to be conducted in a lawful way. Democracy runs on the principle of one vote per person. Okay? Each citizen has only one vote and all votes hold equal value. Elections should be at regular intervals. Some countries hold them at 4 or 6 years and some countries hold them at 5 years. Okay, students? Students in India, elections are held once in 5 years. This is called general election. Sometimes when member of parliament or state legislature dies, okay, elections are held in his or her constituency before the completion of 5 years. This is called by-election. And sometimes the president on the advice of prime minister dissolves the Lok Sabha or state assembly. Elections will be conducted ahead of 5 years. This is called midterm elections. Okay, students? Now let us understand the requirements for fair elections. First of all citizens should have only one vote and all votes should have equal values. Next point, if people have to vote, they should have choices. In India, we have many political parties and candidates to choose from. Okay? This makes our democracy true and vibrant. Next, election should be held regularly. Like in India, we have elections every 5 years. So, election should be held regularly. And elections should be conducted in an atmosphere free of fear and violence. There should be no compulsion on the voters to vote for a particular candidate. Okay, students? Now, student, please tell me what is election commission. So, for elections to be free and fair, they have to be administered by a professional body that treats all political parties and candidates equal. This body is also empowered to resolve any disputes about the election result. In India, this is done by Election Commission. Election Commission is an independent body that is answerable only to the Parliament. Okay, the head of this body is Chief Election Commissioner, who is appointed by the President of India. Okay, in simple words, Election Commission is an independent body that is empowered to resolve any kind of dispute that occurs during the elections or the election result. Okay, it is an independent body which is empowered by the government. Okay, and this party and the head of the this body is Chief Election Commissioner, who is appointed by the President of India. Okay, students, our next topic is electoral constituencies. So in India, to make elections more representative, each state is divided into small number of units called constituencies. Okay, and these constituencies consist roughly of same number of people. Okay, for example, the populated city of Mumbai has 6 parliamentary constituencies, each just a few square kilometers in size. And while some constituencies in desert Rajasthan extend for hundreds of square kilometers. Okay? And from these constituencies, out of number of citizens who contest election, one person is elected and sent to the House of Representative or a state assembly or the parliament. Okay? Students, some constituencies are reserved for disadvantaged background, like people from scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. These are the people who have been suffering tortures and discrimination from generations. Okay? So for a scheduled tribe and caste to win an election from an unreserved constituency was impossible. Therefore, government has reserved some constituencies for them to make the elections process as inclusive as possible. Inclusive means that to include all the parties. Clear? Now, what are election campaigns? So the Chief Election Commissioner announces the date for the next elections. After that, the political parties decide the constituencies that they will be contesting elections from. Okay? Then Election Commission allots symbol to political parties, and each party holds meeting to select the candidate, to decide what the election manifesto would be, and to arrange for funds and plans for the course of action for campaigns. Then they launch the campaigns. Okay, the candidate hold rallies where they tell people that what their party will do if they were elected to power or if they are elected to power. Okay, they start work for the interest of people. Clear? And on the appointed day, people go to polling booth to cast their votes. Okay, to ensure that people can cast their vote without any fear or any pressure. Okay, voters cast their vote in secret. That means none of the person can get to know what the other person has voted for. This is called secret ballot. Nowadays, voters in India cast their vote through electronic voting machine. Clear? So, after the elections are over, the job of election commission is to counting of votes and the announcement of the name of successful candidate. Once this is over, the job of election commission is over. Student, this is the end of part A of your chapter.